social media is dead and who is to blame. Let's take a psychological and philosophical breakdown to figure out what happened, whose fault, and how to fix it. If you don't know, I am Brody from Urban Warrior Survival, your number one source for urban preparedness. So thanks for tuning in. So I'm making this video because I've been seeing a lot of other videos talking about how social media is dead, and I totally agree with it. But I want to do something a little bit different and talk about why it really happened and who's at fault. So if you didn't know, a lot of people are uninstalling a lot of different apps. Some people are downright quitting social media, understandably so. So here's why I think it is. One of the first things I've always said, and if you hear anybody say this, they stole it from me. Anything that goes mainstream gets ruined. Whether it's education, human beings are supposed to learn. Mainstream will take education and weaponize it against the people and lie about history. Two people spending their lives together, totally normal. Mainstream will take that and it will use jewelry to put a price tag on it, or you will have governments put litigation on it, overcomplicating things. Anything that goes mainstream gets ruined. People don't realize this, whether their memory sucks or they're not old enough to remember. But with YouTube in the very beginning, and people are going to find this hard to believe, if you were on YouTube, you were considered a lame, you were considered a nerd, you were considered a loser and a geek. When YouTube first came out, it was skateboarders on here. It was people making like anime AMVs. It was people who were reenacting like Star Wars. It was essentially the AV crew. So it was kind of like the outsiders. Then when mainstream, aka the insiders, came in, well, they didn't come in yet. They learned how much money was being made. Oh, and if you wonder what I'm holding, I'm actually about to make some cinnamon rolls. This is not sponsored. When mainstream people came in, they came in after they realized how much money was being made by gamers and streamers or what have you. So now they wanted a piece. I'm going to just keep it raw on this channel for these. You ended up having a whole bunch of people who were not creative, who had nothing unique going for them, come onto the platform and start creating content. So this was a double-edged sword for content creation, where anybody can pick up a camera, anybody can go live. It's kind of like an opinion, right? People will be like, oh, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I would always say, yeah, this is true. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but people need to stop abusing the privilege, right? Because not everybody is realistically smart enough to have an opinion. A lot of people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Content creation is the same way. You have a lot of people who don't really have anything to add because you're an influencer, right? So when you're influencing a person, what are you influencing them to? Like, what direction are you sending them? You should, realistically, it's like if you have a fitness influencer, somebody who works out, hopefully naturally, and they're talking about positive fitness, positive nutrition, positive lifestyle. That's a great influencer, right? That's a great influencer. Somebody who understands how to build a business. That is a great influencer. The problem is you had way too many people who could not positively influence, take advantage of this system or take advantage of the platform and negatively influence people. And this is why now all of a sudden anybody who's in the know knows when you have something like Instagram, it has been so destructive to a lot of people's mental health, because a lot of people on there are fake. A lot of people have like body augmentations. A lot of people are living lives that they're claiming to live lives that they don't really live. They don't have as much money as they claim to, and people are trying to keep up with these people, and it's just psychologically tearing people apart. So who's to blame for all of this? I think everybody is to blame. You have the viewer for supporting these people. You have the content creator for making slop. You have businesses because you have businesses for primarily focusing on fake content creators. You have the platforms for pushing these fake content creators or low quality content creators. Now, why do they do this? First, let's talk about creativity. These are actually related. One of the issues is when you're creative, you're going to end up being a trendsetter instead of a trend follower. I have to deal with this issue all the time. I will create something that nobody else is really doing, but yet because nobody else is doing it, mainstream doesn't necessarily accept it. So now you're dealing with death of creativity. And when you deal with that, you end up having less viewers. And because you have less viewers, platforms will see you as less profitable or less marketable. So will advertisers. They'll see you as less profitable, less advertisable. And then they'll focus on people who are doing things that are more general, more trending. So this is why you end up seeing content creators do the same things. So now you're seeing the death of creativity because creativity is weird or it's too unique and therefore it doesn't have the audience, therefore it won't have the financial back. So now you're dealing with the death of creativity. You're dealing with people who don't necessarily have the talent be put on a pedestal to influence when they shouldn't be influencing in the first place because they're not doing anything positive with it. And because of all of this, we've hit a crescendo, or I believe we've hit this crescendo where we've hit the peak of social media to where people are tired of the negative physical impact, the negative mental impact, the negative psychological impact of low quality content creators. And now you introduce AI where there's some good with AI, but realistically speaking, in totality, I wish it wasn't here for the most part because it's doing more harm than good. I've heard some AI music, sounds like shit. People are making whole AI channels, so there is no content creator anymore that you really get to get attached to, or you get to grow with, or you get to like this person. To me, content has gotten to the point where it's kind of like food, where you have processed or organic. It used to be when it was the Wild West of content, the Wild West of YouTube, it was like eating from the garden, right? You live on a farm, fresh eggs, fresh chicken, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. Now, content creation is like consuming 3D printed food. It's fake. It's soulless. It's unoriginal. And I think people are finally coming around to realizing this. And they are tired of it. Tess. And they're tired of it. They want home cooking. They want fresh food. They don't want fake processed food anymore. So yeah, I don't think content creation is totally dead, but I think it's hit its peak. And now you're going to start to see a lot of things change where people are going to walk away. It's going to be less glamorous to be a content creator, and it's going to hit this reset to where people are going to go back to just doing things super simple, being super original, and you're going to see people who are not capable of doing that. They're going to probably fade away, and it'll go back to how it used to be, where it was like the AV club, it was the people making the AMVs, the skateboarders. They'll probably take back over the content creation circle. Yeah, because people just aren't getting along with people, and people just realize people are fake, and it just really shows on with content creation, and people just got too much going on to keep dealing with it. But all right, this is my first kind of like psychological breakdown video. So yeah, let me know how I did in the comment section below. I kind of liked it. I'm in the kitchen, so I'm not even going to adjust the lights, whatever. This is supposed to be super raw. So yeah, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the like. Oh, and check out my new website at urbanwarriorsurvival.com for all your self-defense and survival needs. Link is going to be in the description. Also, hey, for my gamers out there, I'm going to be gaming over on Twitch. So I'll be playing survival games like Zomboid and or Project Zomboid, Vane, DayZ to kind of go with my self-defense and survival content. So once I'm done with all my work for the day, I'm going to be heading over to Twitch. So come hang out, say what's up, get to meet me. Let's talk some prepping. Let's talk some martial arts. Let's talk some anime and manga. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, and I'm also available for consultations too. I forgot about that. Also available for consultations. I am a urban preparedness coach. So if you want to start learning how to live more in tune with nature and be more self-reliant, go ahead and hit me up with a message on the website. Just go on the contact page. Link is going to be in the description section below. Thanks for tuning in. See you on Discord. This is a Brody from Urban Warrior Survival signing out. Peace.